Hello and welcome to another page of the Midgard Chronicle. Haven't said that in a while. So, this God of War Ragnarok game has been out for a little while, so I guess it's time to talk about it and stuff. After trying to finish writing my longest review for a month at this point, I realized that I just can't emotionally, so here's an express version. Everything I wanted to say, but much faster because I just wanted over with now. So let's go. Also, thank you to PlayStation and Santa Monica Studio for a review copy. Really took advantage of playing the game early, didn't I? Also, spoilers, obviously. So, did I like God of War Ragnarok? Yeah, I did. I loved it. It's amazing, although it's a bit of a mess. Here's the part where I'm praising all the video gamey parts that I don't really understand. The game obviously looks amazing, the art direction is impeccable, and is a great improvement to 2018. I really appreciate the variety in biomes this time around, and the abundance of fauna is really fun. The combat is great, you already know all the improvements and everything. I really enjoyed the verticality and the improved speed. Oh, and I love the spear, both how it plays and what it is, and the story side of it. I actually enjoyed playing as Atreus. Obviously nowhere near as fun as Kratos, but I think it's a solid foundation for the inevitable spin-off. I kind of enjoyed the increased speed of dodges. It felt more natural for me to play as the quick, small guy than the slow, bulky guy, but that's just me. The bosses are all fantastic. They certainly rival God of War 3's in my eyes. Garm, Nidhogg, and Thor are obvious highlights, but I think Garm and everything surrounding that boss is probably my favorite. The RPG system is back, and I still don't like it, and don't feel like it's engaging at all, and don't want it back in later games. Thank you, and please and thank you. The exploration in this game is some of the best. I got pulled into doing side stuff for hours during the main story, despite really wanting to know what happens next. It's that good. And of course, shout out to my G, the creator, best area in the game. Maybe make the whole game like this next time? One thing, after having the blades grapple thing, the old climbing from 2018 is excruciating now. It's so slow, it's terrible. Please get rid of it too, thank you. The acting, everyone did great as expected. Special shout out to Adam J. Harrington, who nailed Sindri so much, honestly a highlight of the game. But I think Chris Judge outacted everyone. You could hear he gave 106% to every line, even in the most insignificant side missions. He brought undeniable passion to this character, it's insane. He should probably get an award for this or something, and have all the time in the world to thank everyone too if he wants. The music is phenomenal. Bear McCreary outdid himself and elevated so many scenes for action or drama, it's not even funny. He should get an award for it or something, and the sound design is flawless too. This game just sounds insane. The audio team should get an award or something. I honestly didn't mind the puzzles either. I think there was only one time when the game told me the solution too fast, but I do agree hints should be optional. Other than that, it was great to see puzzles go beyond throw axe to move thing. We use the blades and the arrows, it's much more dynamic, and there are definitely some head scratchers there. I like it. So you might have noticed that I haven't said pretty much anything negative yet, and that's simply because I'm a Sony shill and sold my soul to Santa Monica Studio, and definitely not because I genuinely think all of those things were improved compared to 2018. But now it's time to talk about something I actually feel like I'm qualified enough to critique and analyze. In short, the story is pretty great, but I feel like SMS had too much on their plate and couldn't handle everything perfectly. There's a lot of moving parts and a shit ton of characters, and some were certainly handled better than others, but at the end of the day, it's a pretty satisfying end to the Norse saga. I don't think the pacing of the game was that bad. There are parts that dragged, you know which ones, and some that were too rushed, but overall, the game's more level-based approach let it flow relatively well. The main arc of the game is obviously Kratos and Atreus, and it was perfect. You know what it is, you know what happened, and it's flawless. And I have to say, I am so incredibly happy that we got a good ending in this game. I really needed that. Brock and Sindri were fantastic in this game, also perfect, honestly. I was very happy with Thor's portrayal. He got a healthy mix of terrifying bastard Thor and sad drunk Thor, and his arc and how Thrud and Sif were tied into it was pretty good. Now, other stuff, there are some problems with. Freya joining us felt way too rushed. All and any tension was lost after Freya started casually walking and talking next to us, and especially after this semi-comedic Falcon moment. The emancipation scene was excellent, but didn't feel as earned as it could have been. There wasn't enough struggle and turmoil, in my opinion, to make it worth it. Inger Boda's arc was kind of wasted, unfortunately. The setup for it honestly made her character one of the most intriguing for me. She's bound by prophecy and so on, and of course she'll break free and choose her own path. That's the arc, but it happens off screen. When we see her in Ragnarok, she's already made her choice, so that's sad we didn't get to actually see it. Also, Atreus keeping Ironwood a secret didn't really play into the story at all. It creates tension here and there, but it's kind of a Chekhov's gun that never fires. The biggest disappointment of the game for me was the Ragnarok battle itself. I don't think it worked as either a display piece or a combat scenario. It was kind of in the middle and didn't do either well. You got to watch crazy stuff happen, but you never really participated in it. I thought this moment from 2018 was a taste of the Yormi action we'll get against Thor in Ragnarok, but it's just kind of a checklist moment in the distance. The lead up to it was a little odd too. Kratos has this climactic moment and gives a speech to like 5 people. I feel like it would have been much more effective if we had a for Frodo moment with all the armies gathered before the battle starts, as cliche as that is. And then we get to see how dire things are when the Aesir wipe those huge armies, because as it is, we didn't really know how big Hel's army was, for example. It's like we entered Asgard 20% into the battle. Last thing, it felt odd that Odin never really did anything during Ragnarok. I really liked Odin, his character was interesting, and there seemed to be pretty good build-up, but it didn't amount to anything. I thought he would pull something crazy during Ragnarok, but he didn't, and it felt somewhat anticlimactic and stained Odin's character right at the landing. That's kind of it story-wise. Everything else I really enjoyed. Should have cut the cave in Ironwood though, that was really unnecessary. On a more subjective note, it was hard to get used to how different the tone of this game is to 2018, and that's normal. With a wider range of characters, visiting realms like nothing, and so on, the loneliness and mystique of this world we had in 2018 is obviously gone, but that's just personal preference. I felt like they tried a little too hard with the humor this time around. It worked a lot of the times, but it felt like they put it there for the sake of it, unlike 2018 where it felt more natural. The writing took a bit of a dip as well, characters talking to themselves and repeating popular quotes for the sake of it, especially when it totally doesn't fit at all.
What do we hunt?
Deer.
Which way we headed, lad?
In the direction of deer.
Are big pet peeves of mine, but this is the most pettiest of nitpicks. It's still a very well written game. Overall, I feel very lucky that I got what Santa Monica was trying to do with this game. I obviously had massive expectations and ideas where this game will go, but I came in with an open enough mind and was taken on an incredible journey, in my opinion. The best compliment I can give this game, or any game, is that after finishing the story, being emotionally drained from it and everything that happened around the game's release, I told myself I need a day off from this game. But then, that next day, I just wanted to play again. I just wanted to play more. And if that's not the greatest achievement a video game can have, I don't know what is. Is God of War Ragnarok the best God of War game? In some respects, yes. Is it my favorite? I don't think anything will ever top 2018 for me, ever, but it's still absolutely phenomenal and it's a second favorite. And in time, who knows, maybe I'll revisit it much more. It's too fresh to judge right now. I'm just lucky I dedicated so much time to this game and bet a good chunk of my mental health on this game being good, and it was good. And that's pretty great. Except, who blew the horn? Why
Was
didn't
it
we see
Angrboda
who blew
from
the
the
horn?
future,
Did
Andreas? Why was there no
do
time
it?
travel?
How is it so important?
Why didn't the
And
answer it?
What
It's
about
so
the...